Machu Picchu, the lost city the Spanish never found. They built a city in the sky, a fortress of stone perched nearly 8,000 feet above sea level, hidden from the world for centuries. No roads lead directly to it. No records mention its name, and when it was finally rediscovered in 1911, it was already abandoned. This is Machu Picchu, the legendary Incan stronghold shrouded in mystery. Who built it? Why was it constructed in such an impossible location? And what made its people vanish without a trace? Let's explore one of history's most haunting questions. Why did the Inca abandon their greatest achievement? And what secrets does it still hold? Machu Picchu sits high in the Peruvian Andes, on a narrow ridge between two towering mountains, Machu Picchu and Huayna Picchu. From the air, the city looks almost like it was grown from the stone beneath it, not built, but unearthed. When American explorer Hiram Bingham first stumbled across the site in 1911, led there by local farmers, he was shocked. The ruins were overgrown, but still intact. Massive walls, staircases, agricultural terraces, and temples, all built from perfectly carved stone blocks. But here's the twist: the Spanish conquistadors never found it. They conquered the entire Inca Empire, razed cities, destroyed temples, and looted gold. Yet Machu Picchu stayed hidden, untouched. And it wasn't marked on any known Incan records. That's what made it so intriguing. A fully intact Inca city, with no official history. Machu Picchu was built around 1450, at the height of the Inca Empire. But the true genius of the city lies in how it was constructed. The Inca had no metal tools, no wheel, and no written language. Yet they built a city more advanced than many in Europe at the time. The stonework is almost supernatural. The walls were made using a technique called ashlar masonry, where blocks are carved to fit together perfectly. No mortar, no filler. Even after centuries of earthquakes and weather, the joints are so tight you can't slide a razor blade between them. Some of these stones weigh over 50 tons, yet were hauled across steep cliffs and positioned with absolute precision. How? No one knows. Mainstream archaeologists believe they used stone tools and intense manpower. But there are no blueprints, no scaffolding remains, no written records of the construction process. All that remains is stone and speculation. The Inca were deeply spiritual, and Machu Picchu reflects that. This wasn't just a city, it was designed to align with natural forces, sacred mountains, and celestial events. Many believe Machu Picchu was a royal retreat, built for Emperor Pachacuti, while others argue it was a ceremonial site, a sacred place for the Inca elite to commune with the gods. The buildings are laid out in precise relation to the solstices, with the Intihuatana stone, a ritual pillar positioned to mark the sun's path across the sky. Some call it a hitching post of the sun, used to predict agricultural cycles or perform astronomical rituals. There are temples, altars, sacred rocks, and ritual baths, all pointing to this being more than just a city. It was a spiritual sanctuary, a place of power. What makes Machu Picchu even more impressive is its invisible infrastructure. The Inca designed an advanced drainage system and freshwater aqueduct network that still functions today. They carved channels into stone, redirecting mountain runoff, minimizing erosion, and ensuring a steady water supply throughout the city. Engineers today still study Machu Picchu's water management system as a model of sustainable design. This was not a temporary settlement, it was built to last. So the question is, why didn't it? Sometime in the late 1500s, Machu Picchu was abandoned. The Inca left no written explanation. In fact, they left no written language at all. And there's no sign of violence, no fire damage, no mass graves, no disaster, just an empty city slowly reclaimed by jungle. One theory is that European diseases like smallpox, introduced by Spanish invaders, decimated the population, even in remote areas. Another is that with the collapse of the Inca Empire and the fall of their capital Cusco, highland cities like Machu Picchu lost their spiritual and political importance. Still others suggest the city was simply no longer needed, a ceremonial site that had served its purpose, left behind in favor of survival. But if Machu Picchu was so significant, why erase it so completely from cultural memory? Some believe it was intentionally hidden, sealed off to protect its sacredness from foreign invaders. Others think the Spanish never found it because they were never meant to. Dig deeper, and you find subtle layers of design across the site. The Temple of the Sun is built atop a giant natural rock, aligned perfectly with the June solstice sunrise. The Temple of the Three Windows opens toward the rising sun, possibly symbolizing the Inca myth of creation. The Condor Temple appears to be shaped like a giant Andean condor, the sacred bird of the sky world, part of the Incas' three-part cosmos. These weren't accidents. This was a culture building with symbolism, geometry, and cosmology in mind. And it fuels the idea that Machu Picchu was more than political. It was metaphysical. As with any ancient marvel, alternative theories eventually take root. Some say Machu Picchu is evidence of lost ancient knowledge, passed down from civilizations far older than the Inca, perhaps even pre-Ice Age cultures that understood advanced engineering. Others connect the site to ancient aliens, claiming the stonework and astronomical alignments are too perfect to be man-made with primitive tools. A fringe theory even links it to vortex energy sites, suggesting Machu Picchu was chosen for its alignment with Earth's geomagnetic fields. There's no evidence for these claims, but they persist because the questions still linger. The Inca left no detailed records, no blueprints, no guides, and so the void fills with theories because mystery demands explanation. Bingham brought attention to it through photos and publications, but also sparked controversy. Many artifacts he removed from the site were taken to Yale University and only returned to Peru after a century-long dispute. Since its rediscovery, Machu Picchu has become one of the most visited UNESCO World Heritage Sites on the planet, and also one of the most fragile. Tourism, erosion, and environmental pressures now threaten what time could not destroy. Conservationists fight to preserve it, while archaeologists continue to uncover hidden chambers, buried stairways, and new clues. But the central mystery remains. Why build something so beautiful just to leave it behind? The descendants of the Inca, the Quechua people, still live in the region, and while their ancestors left no books, they left stories. Some say the mountains themselves are alive, Apu spirits watching over the land. Some say Machu Picchu was a gateway, a bridge between the human and divine realms. These oral traditions offer insight into how the Inca may have viewed the world, not as something to conquer, but something to live in harmony with. Not as territory, but as sacred space. Machu Picchu isn't just ruins. It's a time capsule, untouched by Spanish destruction, shielded by mountains and frozen in mystery. It's a reminder that civilizations can build with vision, purpose, and harmony, and yet still vanish without warning. And maybe that's the lesson. That no matter how high we build, how perfect our architecture, or how advanced our knowledge, it can all be lost, buried beneath vines, and forgotten in the mist. Machu Picchu doesn't just ask us how it was built. It asks, why do we forget the most beautiful things we create? If you enjoyed this mystery, don't forget to leave a like and hit subscribe to stay updated. I'd really appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching The Mind Vault, your home for all things mysterious.